What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Champion Living podcast, the only podcast crossing the lines between the sport of rodeo and fitness. Today's episode, we're just checking in. We've had a lot going on. I'm just recently up here in Montana. Logan's just back from Montana. Paul's been, I don't know what you're dealing with, but it looked like a lot the way you were explaining it. We're going to change that, Paul.
Let's be honest. Paul hasn't been doing shit.
Ooh, shots fired. So, Logan, why don't you think Paul is doing shit?
No, I don't know. And anybody that didn't drive through the night, load a U-Haul, drive straight through the night, unload a U-Haul in the span of 26 hours hasn't been doing shit. Okay, that's my personal opinion because that was a whirlwind. I got up at 3 a.m. drove to the airport, got on a plane, got off the plane. Doug picked me up. We went to his house. We started right away loading the U-Haul. We loaded the U-Haul, took a 20-minute nap, had a little snack, said hi to Al,
So
got in
got
the
nap
truck.
in there. That's impressive.
Yeah, a little bit. Drove straight through to Montana, got there, immediately opened the U-Haul, unloaded everything, and then proceeded to run to town and do some errands and all that kind of stuff. And it's really impressive, honestly, that we were able to, move. It's like 13 and a half hour drive, and in a U-Haul towing a car that you can only go 65 miles an hour when you're awake. When you're sleeping behind the wheel, it turns out I found out I only go about 50 miles an hour. It took us like 16 hours to get there, and then we unloaded it. Anyway, it was good. It was one of those things that like I'm gonna remember fondly, not volunteering to do tomorrow or anytime in the near future.
Yeah.
You have such a given talent of making things sound so dramatic. You're such a good storyteller. I love it. I'm just like in it. I was like, man, this guy's journey. Oh wait, I was on that journey. I'm listening to the same story I did.
I prefer the term storyteller instead of dramatic. So just for future reference, they're
okay.
all
We'll
very similar,
take that. I like
have
that.
Been called
I can dig that.
Or BS.
The man can talk. What can we say? That's why we got a podcast. That's why we got a podcast.
Dude,
could you imagine if
the
go ahead.
The podcast that Logan was absent from that you and I recorded, I think that came out, as we're recording this like this morning or something. I listened back to it yesterday before it came out, and I was like, Logan's like our glue. Like he can fill space so well. It's the glue that holds us together.
I'm still tired from the trip, so I might cry. I'm a little emotional. That might be the sweetest thing that you have ever said. I was thinking that you guys might like do it by yourselves and then be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much better." Hey,
so much better.
By the way,
so good.
Well, we did say that. I mean, we personally enjoyed it more.
It felt better.
Yeah.
It sure felt a lot better. My confidence was higher afterwards.
My confidence was higher afterwards. Much less insults.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's true.
Doug didn't spend the first half an hour tearing me down, so
yeah,
it was pretty good.
Hey man, I don't do that often.
I know.
Totally,
that's what I said.
Logan.
I know.
Logan's just brutal over there.
That's killing me.
No, dude. Yeah, the driving through the night with the U-Haul is not it's not for the faint of heart. Not at all.
It's not.
But
we had some torrential storms too. It rained its nuts off. Probably like over half the way.
Makes it even worse.
It kept me awake for sure. I was like, oh God,
mainly on Doug's shift.
2 hands on this sucker. We're white knuckling it. Yeah, and that every time anything. It could be a car that drove by us in the left lane, and it was pushing us to the right.
The wind, yeah.
And the driving through Wyoming, the first bit, I just had the wheel cranked to the left the whole time to keep it going straight because the wind was so hard and so bad through there. Those little things are not meant for that. But we made it, and it was, like I said, it wasn't that bad. I hadn't done that in a long time, like Logan was saying, since we rodeoed. We got to the house, and he's like, how did we get on bucking horses after that? Like that? What?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
When I think your Instagram story, I think, was the first I saw of it. I thought y'all were like gonna load the U-Haul, wake up the next morning, and then just knock it out
We were,
in the
but
daylight.
like
And
everything else,
when I
Champion
saw
Living,
you,
we
when I
just
saw
spur
you
the
on the road
moment.
at like, when I saw you on the road at like 6 p.m., I was like, these guys are insane. They have not done this in years. Like,
Yeah.
this is gonna take a toll on them.
We crushed it.
I'm personally glad that we did it that way. Like, while it was
Me too.
difficult, I mean, it gave us so much more time to be able to get some stuff done in Montana once we got there and hang out, and we got a like
Mhm.
full night's rest on Thursday night, which I desperately needed because I flew back. My flights got delayed. I didn't get home until like 2:30 in the morning on that following night, and then we had a junior rodeo the next day, so I was up and the kids were waking me up at 6:30. So like it was, I'm glad we decided to drive through the night. It was good to just make some memories. It's been a while since I've slept behind the wheel, so
Yeah. The
Not
box
supposed
truck
to
makes
do
it a
that.
little bit harder because the seats don't move. And
Yeah,
yeah.
you're just in
it
that
was
locked, straight upright position.
and just got to find a way to get comfy. I slept for 5 hours straight, so I don't know what Logan's problem was, but
Yeah.
I had no
Yeah,
problem going to
I
sleep.
went over there. I knew it was going to happen too. It was the shift that I got when I was rodeoing, but I got the 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift. So it's like that the hardest point of the night. But it was fine. I had an energy drink and I had a large cup of coffee, and over the course of the drive, not simultaneously, I wasn't double fisting, but I did
mixed
have
them
the
together.
energy drink. I had some sugar, some a little bit of sugar, and it was okay. It got a little sketchy there for a minute, but it was pretty. The sketchiest part was it was right at the end of my shift, like 6 o'clock, and I kind of had to go to the bathroom, and I wasn't like, man, my stomach was all upset from the travel and stuff. I'm gonna tell you, I experienced the worst bathroom pains I've had in my entire life for the last 30 minutes of my shift. And Doug had woken up and was awake.
Oh
And I mean,
man,
I was dancing in the seat. I had to like unbutton my pants, and it was absolutely
yeah,
outrageous. I couldn't hardly get out of the truck. It
He
hurt so
was
bad. That's how like
barely made
bloated
it.
and how bad I had to pee. And it was absolutely, and then I like waddled into the bathroom at a very fast rate. And yeah, I feel really bad for that truck stop bathroom. But we made it. I didn't wet myself. I thought I was going to. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the excitement.
Man,
and
I
then
don't
how's
think
the
we'll
new
ever be the
place,
same
Doug?
after that. No.
Change man. It's like
House is awesome,
it's like
man.
the Odyssey.
Oh, that's good. The house is awesome. Loving it. I couldn't love it more, to be honest. It's pretty dope. Feels like home since the second we got into it, which is, I don't think I've been in a house like that since my childhood, probably. So it's a cool feeling, man.
Mhm.
I'm loving it. Loving being right next to Richie and Paige. Got to babysit the dog all weekend. They wasted
How
no
close are you?
time. I'm like, yeah,
It's
no
just
time at
chilling.
all. Yeah, here's the dog. Watch him. We're going rodeoing. It's like, oh,
Yep.
perfect.
See ya.
See you, neighbor. No, but he lives about half a mile from me. Not too
Oh,
far. I can,
perfect.
when the grass is a little lower, you can see his house from mine. But the grass is about titty high right now, so there's no seeing any of it. Um, but loving it so far, man. I've only been here for, I guess it's been 4 days, but I feel like I've gotten a lot done, and I've been driving around trying to find my way around everything and figure it all out. Mostly trying to find the fishing holes, which I've found. In case you were wondering,
Good.
yeah,
I
there's
was
some good
wondering,
wade fishing,
actually.
and gonna learn how to row the boat, which will be fun. Maybe sketchy, may drown Richie once or twice on the first couple times, but we'll see how it goes. But no, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and really excited for summer rodeos kicking off. It was cool watching Bennett and Richie take off for the weekend run, coming back for 2 days, and then they're off for, I mean, everybody's off for the summer. They're not coming back till, I mean, I don't even know when. Probably mid-August,
Till
end of
the
August,
cows
something
come
like
home.
that. Yeah, exactly. So it was cool seeing those guys getting ready to roll, and just kind of, I've been by myself here, and thankfully I have a little service at the house. So I turned on Cowboy Channel and been watching all the rodeos this weekend, Sisters, Eagle, What's the Ute Roundup? Do you know remember where that is? Mountain View or something like that? Eagle Mountain,
Colorado,
maybe.
isn't it?
Eagle Mountain, maybe
something like that.
Eagle Mountain, I think you're was right.
I was been watching all those and just getting fired up watching our athletes compete and seeing them starting off the season well, man, is exciting. And I really kind of wanted to chat about today, minus just the BS and me moving and Logan helping me and almost pooping his pants. I want to talk about in season workouts and why it's so important to continue to train at some capacity in the in season and not use the excuse as I'm too busy, we're going too hard, I'm driving too much. Those are all reasons to continue to train in my eyes. We were talking about we got out of the truck after a 12-hour drive and I felt like shit. Not like I was going to get sick, but my body felt bad. I felt tight. My back hurt, my neck hurt, my shoulders hurt, everything hurt. And until I went and moved with purpose and intent about activating those muscle groups, correcting the things I just did to my body, I didn't feel good until I got that done. And it was a whole day because we were busy, and I get that. We were unloading the truck. We did a mobility session. We get brought out. That's the things. A couple of things I brought with me was a foam roller and then a bunch of lacrosse balls. And I have a couple different varieties of them. One with like really rough texture, two that are connected, and then one just single one. And we hit that, and I went to bed and felt a lot better. And then I did a little workout down here. I kind of posted some of it on my Instagram, but I literally was like, what's 4 exercises I could think of that I can get my whole entire body feeling good after something like that? That's still going to help me activate muscles, but also work on that range of motion and mobility. And I came up with bird dog. I changed it up a little bit. I added a really long isometric hold to it, and it was like 10 to 20 seconds on the hold, which, dudes, I don't know if you've done that before. It is spicy come that third or fourth rep, and just doing it on the same side. So I would do bird dog hold, and I would really reach with my arm and squeeze my butt tight on that leg that's extending and just squeeze that core in and brace and hold for 10 seconds. And then I go right back into it and hold it. I did that for like 3 reps, 4 reps. You got a minute of tension there, essentially over both sides. And it was awesome. And I could feel my hips, my pelvis neutralizing. Lower back was feeling better just with that exercise alone. Threw in some dead bugs. I wanted to put a little ISO hold on the extension part as well. It's a bent knee variation. I just did that for general purposes. That's the easiest variation I could think of. And in that extension, when you flex that quad and really elongate that hamstring, got that arm overhead, working on the range of motion, getting that quarter fire, connecting upper and lower extremities through oblique slings because we're working opposite extremities there, or right arm, left leg. And then I had, Matt told me about these scapular yoga push-ups.
I've seen those. That was one of the ones you posted.
Dude, they are the best thing I found for my thoracic and my scaps when it comes to like just activating and getting it to open up. And all you're doing is, instead of being on your hands, you're on your elbows and you're just doing a scap push-up, or the motion for a scap push-up. So we're squeezing those scaps, chest is going towards the ground. And when you hit that, you're going to then round and then push back into that yoga position, that down dog position. And my entire thoracic cracked the first time I did it. And it was like, oh, but you feel those delts and all those things really start firing in your scaps, everything around from sides of your shoulders all the way back. So I really like those. I was throwing like a 5-10 second hold in that down dog and really trying to press my elbows through the ground and forearms through the ground, getting that tension through my thoracic spine.
I've got another one for you then to try if you never have.
Let's do it.
Kind of like in an upward dog position or like a cobra pose, and then you're doing.
I was like, "What's an upward dog?"
Shoulders through.
You've never
a down dog, up dog. You've never done that.
I think I call them cobra to down dogs instead of up dog to up dog.
Well, that would be called up dog to down dog. What's up, dog? Clearly, you've never taken a yoga class. No, just kidding. But then you do like a scapula cars through in that cobra or up dog position. And so like you have weight on your hands and then you're moving through that range of motion. It's tough and
that would sound spicy.
Delicious. Like, yeah, it's very awesome. But I'm definitely gonna try your, what was it, yoga
scapular yoga push-ups.
Or no, scapular yoga push-ups.
I made it up. I really don't know what they're called, but that's the Dougie Fresh variation right there, boy.
The Dougie Fresh variation.
What was the last thing I had in there? Damn, I can't remember
I
now.
don't know.
Did you have hip
Anyways,
cars?
check them out if you guys are on the road. What? Oh yeah, hip cars. And that's again just working on the hips are what are most pissed off on me when I'm driving, and it radiates to my lower back.
Mhm.
And once I address glute med, usually that tension comes right out of my lower back in my my QL. Also, I'm going to be posting a really good QL stretch here in the next day. It'll be posted. So if you haven't been following me on Instagram, go check it out when this is coming out if you're listening, because there's a badass stretch on there. Well, there'll have probably been a lot more by then. We're a little ahead here. But either way, check it out. And it's a variation of that front lean, the front leaning lunge that you do, Paul, where with for the QL, right? And what you're doing is you're getting in that position on a bench sideways, and then you're allowing that hip to dip while you're holding yourself up on that bench. It's the same thing as when you would take that step, and then you're just using a bench as it, but it gives you more depth to lean into, which is spicy, and I like it. And that is exactly where I am feeling my tightness. So I'm going to be posting that here soon. And you guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go swing over to our page and check it out, champion.living on Instagram. But let's get back into why it's so important to train, guys, in season, and why you're missing the boat if you're not.
Yeah, it is one of those things that we hear the most. You know, that's typically what happens when we get to June is either clients drop off, or at the very best, their compliance just dips way down because they're like super busy. And I totally get it. You know, I understand. I've been there where you're driving and you're traveling a lot and you're rodeoing, and I think a lot of it is that they just don't know what it feels like to actually feel good. That's kind of what, like Doug and I, when I said, like, man, can you imagine we used to get on bucking horses? And you were like, I just don't think that we actually knew what feeling good really felt like. We just were used to feeling like crap, and that was just kind of the normal. And I think that that's the way that it is for most rodeo athletes that don't prioritize a little bit of training. The 4 exercises, or 5 if you include what Paul mentioned that you guys just discussed, to do 3 sets of each would maybe take you 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. I guarantee you every single
if you're like
professional
crawling
athlete will sit. Yes, we'll be sitting someplace scrolling on Instagram or swiping right on Tinder for way more than 15 minutes. You could actually do something that's going to help you not only feel better. If you feel better, you ride better, win more money. Like, you can actually move your performance forward by putting in some of those exercises and saying, well, I just don't have time.
Yeah, you said something about, like, you know, they don't know what it actually feels like to feel good. But then I think on the opposite side of the spectrum too is, like, there are guys that have been training with us for maybe the last 6 months to a year, and they do feel good, and they're like, oh well, now that I feel good, I can slack off a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
And they don't understand, like, how quickly that feeling good feeling is going to go by the wayside. Not that it can't come back just as quickly, but if you ignore those little things, they will definitely sneak back up on you, and you'll feel no better off than you did, you know, a year or so ago. Especially after you do know how good you feel. You're like, oh, I should feel like this all the time. And then something happens, you know, where you're not feeling quite optimal, and it's like, ooh, I don't like that. And with a little bit of maintenance work, just like you got to change the oil on your car, if you do a little bit of maintenance work on your body, it's going to go a long, long way.
Can you ever not complete an oil change in your car? And could you ever not change the oil and it go well? Like, over time, it's going to go not well, right?
Yeah.
Things are going to run out of lubrication. The engine's going to blow up. It's the same thing on the mobility stuff.
Yep.
You have to continue to do that. And what we see from rookie athletes, but man, I see it from veteran athletes even still, is they'll have an injury or they'll start working out and they feel better. They're doing the things that it takes to get stronger and feel better. You have to continue to maintain those things. They go away quickly after you stop doing them. So and this could be as simple as I tweaked my right shoulder, and I didn't really. I'm just saying, if I tweaked my right shoulder, I did internal external rotation, I did all these straight arm lat pull downs, I did everything I needed to strengthen it, and it felt better. And then, damn, I'm feeling good. I don't need to do that anymore. I go back to competing, and 4 to 6 weeks later, something happens, and I'm back in the same boat because my shoulder's hurting again. Why did that happen?
Yeah.
It's because of you never maintained it. You never told it to continue to stay strong. You never sent those signals to your body and it says, hey, we have to continue to grow and strengthen and hold this here, or else we're going to lose it. And so when you go from strength training and resistance training, taking care of your body, to not doing anything at all, you're totally taking your body out of the routine that it's used to. That's going to stress it out, first of all. And then all the other things that we talk about in rodeo that are stressors, it's the entire thing. So you're asking for yourself, you're literally lining up the equation to break down as fast as possible and to not ever be able to compete at your full potential, because you are missing the one little step of doing the bare minimum amount of movement throughout the season to keep yourself able to perform. And that's what we're running into. And we see, and like you said, guys are dropping off in June. We see it all the time. Go ahead. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Yep. No, there's so many things already that you can't control. Like your nutrition is going to be much harder to maintain. Like just that's how it is. Like you're going to be in the middle of nowhere. The perf ends at 10 o'clock. You might have the hospitality tent that has, a barbecue sandwich or a hot dog, or you have the gas station or the 24-hour McDonald's. Like that's it. And so like there's going to be times where nutrition is not going to be optimal. There's going to be times where sleep is not going to be optimal. Like those things you can't necessarily change. You can focus on your sleep when times are good, but there's going to be those all night drives where you have no choice. Like you're going to have to take a 3-hour nap in the car or nap when you get to the next venue. But the movement you can always take control over. There's always going to be 15 minutes to a half an hour of downtime. Like, I don't care what it is. Like if you're getting there, unless you're a bareback rider and you're getting there half an hour before the perf starts. If you're in any other event and you're getting there before the perf starts, like you've got 15 minutes. Like you can make something happen there. So there's already enough stuff stacked against you. Like make sure that you're focusing on the things that you can control.
Yes, I love
absolutely
that. And I also think about progress with rodeo athletes. It's not just about this season, right? It's about the seasons to come. As strength coaches, personal trainers that are working with clients, we're trying to set them up for success in the future, which we would want to see them win now. But part of what gets irritating when we're trying to work with clients is we're able to work with them, whether it's through an injury, like Doug talked about, or a lot of times we get to work with guys through the winter and we get them super strong and they feel great. And then the summertime comes and they're like, hey, we're just not going to have time for it. Got to spit the bit. So then they stop and they don't do anything from June all the way until October. They're not doing hardly anything, maybe a little bit of something, but nothing that's really making a difference. And so here we are in the beginning of October. Hey, we need to get ready for the NFR. We need to, we want to start training again for next year. Cool. Now I have to spend the first 6 weeks trying to figure out what's going on with you, all the imbalances that we've built over the last 4 months, the abuse that's taken. So now we're going to spend the first 6 weeks doing that. And then guess what? We're going to maybe touch a barbell again, or we're going to lift some weights, and we're going to have to start back at square one. If we can stay on some sort of program, I'm not talking about lifting extremely heavy when you're getting on 7 bucking horses a day, or you're going to 5 or 6 rodeos, you're roping all the time. Like I'm not talking about lifting heavy, but if we can maintain as much of that adaptation that we got in the off season, whether it be strength, your force development, all that kind of stuff, as we can hold on to as much of those adaptations as possible through the summer, then when we come into the fall, we can, not only do we not have to go and fix a lot of problems, typically speaking, that you've built, but we can take you to that next level. We can level up your strength and your power and everything, and you can be a way different athlete next summer than you were this summer because of the fact that you stuck with it through the hard times and you made a time for it. And over the course of 5 to 8 years, we get these 18, 19-year-old athletes that are committed to working with us and stick with us. We haven't seen one yet that's been doing it for 10 years. I can only imagine the athleticism, the power, the strength, the resiliency, the durability of an athlete that's been doing this round the clock all through the season for 10 years. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be definite culture change is what has to happen there. And it's happening. Guys, girls, everybody is seeing the importance of training. We just have to get to the full picture out there, which is what we're doing right here. It's kind of showing everyone the full view of what it should look like for professional athletes, and that involves in-season training. I think we all shared it on our story. There was a meme or a little info deal shared about in-season training and the amount of injuries that occur when you stop training. It's paramount to what we do, and you have to continue to train your body, like Logan was saying, or you're going to break down. And we've been saying that since day one. A lot of my athletes that have been with me for a couple of years, that's been a struggle throughout the summer. And majority of them, their goal this summer is to continue to do something, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whether it's just their warm up. Dude, this can be your warm up every day. You get to the rodeo 30 minutes ahead. Well, if you're taping up, you're fucked at that point. Don't even worry. Just go get on. But if you have an hour and a half or whatever, you have time to warm up. Make that warm up intentional. Get some of that soreness out from the road. Get those muscles activated. Remind your body what it's trained to do and go get on and win. It's simple. It can be laid into that routine so easily, just like that. It does not have to be hard. So the busyness, the travel is a real thing. We're not saying that it has to be an hour. We're not saying it has to be 30 minutes. We're saying do something, do anything with the time that you have when you have it. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. This is not rocket science. This is something very simple, and it's going to look different for everybody. So make it your own and get to work, y'all. You've got to continue to move, or you're gonna, what is it? You don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, this is one of those things. You got to continue to train. You guys got anything else to kind of wrap that up?
Man,
I think you
that
nailed it.
Covers it.
Yeah, crushed it.
Yeah.
If you're listening today and you're sitting there going, damn, I need to continue to work out. I just don't know what to do on the road. Hit us up. Go to the website, championlivingfitness.com. You can fill out the Become an Athlete form. It sets up a free consultation. You get to talk to one of these coaches for free. You get to answer all the questions that you have, make sure that we're a good match for you, kind of set up a potential plan so you guys can see what it's going to look like if you did work with us, and we can go through anything that you guys have. And we are more than happy. We have different varieties of programming, different price set points. So we have things that are meant to be able to work with everybody. So whatever your need is, hit us up, fill out an athlete sign up form. It's free. Like I said, get a free consult and get those questions answered. And if you're looking for that on the road plan, we got you. We can definitely set you up, get you set up, and set you on the trail for success. Got to thank our sponsors, Beastmaster Rodeo. Man, just unloaded one of those rigging bags from the school that I'm going to use for my luggage bag. It is outstanding. I'm so stoked about it. But y'all check out Beastmaster Rodeo. Best equipment in rodeo, hands down, whether you're professional or just getting started. They have anything and everything you can need. BeastmasterRodeo.com. Use our discount code ChampionLiving, all one word. I believe it is all uppercase. Going to save you 10% on all their gear. Guys, until next time, we'll catch you later.